Do you ever feel like you're on the constant content roller coaster of things, of putting out new content here and there, but you just really aren't sure if what you're doing matters? Well, if so, I have some clarity that I would like to share with you, along with some strategies to actually help you get started. If that sounds good, I am excited to share with you on today's show. I'm Dollie Freeman. I'm the host of Blog to Business Show. And today I'm going to actually be sharing with you on the topic of the 2 weekly pieces of content you should be creating. Now, before I get started, I want to give you a little backdrop story to my blogging years and how over the last almost 8 years, I cannot believe it's been that long, how I've gone from when I first started literally putting out one post a day on my blog to now hardly ever doing anything but these 2 things. And this is what I really want you to zone in on, because let's face it, content has changed. And if you're not changing what you're doing and not seeing growth by what you have been doing, then it's time for a change, or nothing's going to make any difference in what you're doing. So let's get started today with the topic of the 2 weekly pieces of content you should be doing and why they're so important. Number 1 is you need to be doing a newsletter. I'm just going to tell you, if you are not putting your efforts in literally connecting with your audience in real constructed emails that are your voice, not someone else's, and not just feeding them posts from your blog, you're not doing yourself a very good favor. And here's why. Your newsletter is your most important asset to your business. You know, when social media decides to guess what? You can't go live. Thank goodness I can, because I have StreamYard, but you can't advertise. You limit what you can do on Facebook because you did something on your personal wall. You're really thankful that you have put your efforts in a newsletter. At least I know I am. I can still reach my people. And in the end, that is my most valuable place. So why am I not connecting with people who thought it was really valuable to them to give me their email? So this should be your number 1 piece of content that you do every week. And you need to send out stuff. You know, recently I have been really connecting with my audience. I have actually been getting responses back the last several years, 2 to 3 years. I get replies to my emails each and every time I put them out. And it's so nice. But lately, I have been getting unbelievable responses to people, not just questions, not just, thank you for this, but literally personal responses about, wow, I'm so thankful for you, or I'm thinking about you. You came across my mind today. Those types of things that really connect you on a personal level. And in case you don't realize this, people buy products from people. They don't buy them from businesses. The ones that are loyal are the ones that have a people behind their brand. So you want to be that for your audience. Okay, so now let's go into the second piece of content you're going to want to create. This, your weekly live show. You want to get face to face. There's nothing like having a platform in which you can get face to face with your audience. And it's true. If you can get face to face with them, let them see you being, let's just face it, human, making mistakes from time to time, being real in the moment, being transparent. These are the things that matter today. You know, years ago, I remember that I could post things on Facebook, I could post things in Pinterest, and instantly I would have traffic to my site. Well, that's changed. Algorithms have made things very difficult to get people from social media over to your blog. But you know what's the number 1 thing that people are consuming today? Videos. What a wonderful opportunity for you to be able to get in front of your audience while providing them some key things that will help them connect with you and see you as an authority that you desire to be and should want to be. So let me give you some real good, nuggets of how you can do these 2 pieces of content, your weekly newsletter being number 1 and your weekly live show being number 2. Feel free to post in the comments and let me know where you're watching from and your thoughts on the process. Okay, so number 1, I want you to think about this. I want you to put this as your objection of every content that you put out, everything, whether it's your newsletter or if it's your weekly shows. You want to make sure that you're generating 3 things. Think about the 3 I's, right? So interest, inspiration, and involvement. You want to get them involved in your content. The only way to do that is first, make it interesting to them, perk their curiosity, get them into your content. Nothing says get interested than being live with your audience, right? And then inspire them. You're going to have to put an idea in their mind that would help them to actually not just like it, love it, but actually have an action beyond that. The only way to really grow a business online is to think about the actions of your audience. And the best way to do that is get them involved. So as you're creating your content, I want you to be thinking about how to make it interesting, how to inspire, and how to get your audience involved. If you're thinking about these things as you're creating your content, you're going to really do far more than writing weekly posts or everyday post. In my case, when I first started to blog, you really need to be very intentional about the content. Resist that temptation of just creating filler content to say that you put a post out or you put an email out. Take time to really strategize and be very strategic about what it is that you're offering to your people. If you're just throwing out stuff to say that you did it, it's not going to perk their interest. And in fact, it can really hurt your reputation with them. So there's been times that I have literally let my content for the week go. Why? Because I didn't have something that I felt was worth doing. Now, doing that too long, you don't have an audience, right? So you have to be very particular about how long you're willing to go. And sitting down and brainstorming your content is going to help you eliminate those dead times when you could have been really sending out an amazing newsletter or coming live with your audience and doing a weekly show. So take time to brainstorm the content that you want to put out in your newsletter and in your weekly show, and you'll really be able to make a difference in the life of your audience. So I can hear you saying, but how do I do that? How do I brainstorm? What kind of content do I put out on these? And how does it really build those interests and really encourage inspiration in them? And more importantly, how can I get my audience involved? Well, I have some tips for you today. All right. So number one, overcome the mindset that needs to change. I've already said a few things to you in this live video that will help you process the mindsets that need to change. Number one, it was about filler content. Resist the urge to just put out the filler content. And by changing that mindset, I let you know that you need new strategies. You need time to brainstorm. You need to be intentional. That's the process of literally helping you change your mindset. I had to change my mindset. Like I shared at the beginning of the show, I was posting every day, 7 days a week when I first started to blog, all the way back in 2012. That's almost 8 years ago from the time that I actually started blogging. So when I say mindset changes, what are your audience doing that they need to stop doing? And think about what it is that you can inspire them to do instead. That's the key thing to creating content that will not only interest, but involve your audience through inspiration. All right, so number two, eliminate